We should really get you just a white little t-shirt that you put on. Maybe Dad's Grand Teton's one that has a stain on it now. You know, they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but we're learning something as we go still, so. Wow, look at this. What does this remind you of? Yes. Good job. That's what I was thinking. And then also that spot in Kauai. Good morning, first and foremost. I know.
Yikes, I'm not ready.
We're ready for a Planet Fitness. So as we said last night, we pulled off. I know these are falling on the floor. It doesn't matter. We got a vacuum up dog fur and all that other stuff.
Our dog is our vacuum.
Yeah, well, for treats. Got up at 6:30. Had a cup of coffee. Decided we will go on the stroll that we did last night, but try and go a little bit further maybe. It's nice. There's not really anyone up here. We can walk with Zeke off leash. I left the inverter on all night last night, but the batteries were still at 90%. So I believe the sun looks like it's out. We should get a full charge, hopefully so. I think the plan will be we'll head towards Las Vegas. Go to a Planet Fitness. We have enough food to get by for a couple more days. We refilled on water in the park. We're down to about 2/3 of the tank, and then we have our 2 4-gallons under there as well, so 8 more gallons other than our main tank. We go back and forth on Valley of Fire. We've been there before. It's like $15 to get into the park. We've never done Red Rocks. You got the refund for the bus? Nice. So yeah, we'll see, but another beautiful day, beautiful view. We did go outside and lay on our patio mat and watched the stars last night for a little bit. It was cool. Took a little while for my eyes to adjust, but it was nice. See what we get into. It's Rachel's day off, so we're gonna hopefully be outside for a good portion of the day. And there's a chance we'll stay here one more night. We talked about that too, so it's kind of just we'll see how we're driving and how we're flowing, what we're feeling, but it'd be nice to go get a long, real shower. We could set up the portable shower here, heat up water, so there is that option as well. I don't know, we'll see. We'll keep it posted. Not yours. Not yours. Mm-mm. Rachel just crunched some of the numbers. 34 days, you said? Been on the road for 34 days. 3,030 miles.
No, even more than that. We've been on the road 36 days, 37 maybe.
2 or 3 more days. We'll just round up, say 40 days. No, 36, 37 days. We've been on the road. 3,030 miles total. We were in Phoenix before diesel prices spiked 50 cents. I read an article, for whatever reason, in the last month, Phoenix prices in Arizona, diesel and gas prices have went up 50 cents. I would say with coupons, we're pretty good about doing, oh yeah, coupons. 325, 330 is about on average what we've been paying. There's been some outliers though that were like 303, 310, I think, on the way out here and maybe outside of Arizona. So we
look at that, I suppose.
Just rough math, like $540 some, I think is what Rachel figured out.
Here's what we've paid for diesel: 307, 349, 319, 304, 299, 298, 299, 344, 320, 334, 341.
I said 330 as average.
325, yeah.
That's probably about right.
Yeah. So $547.
I don't know if you can hear her well, but $547 for 37 days of travel.
Yeah.
Staying wherever we want. We did pay for campgrounds in Death Valley. You can do some dispersed spots, but we were with our friend.
$15 a day.
Yeah, $10 a day for 2 of them.
The diesel. We have spent $15 a day if you divide it out per day. So we've used about 2 gallons of diesel per day.
She said we've used about 2 gallons of diesel per day, about $15 a day in diesel. We have stayed put a lot more this trip, but we've still seen a lot of friends and spent a lot of time in areas, and it's cold back home, so this is great. But similar to Florida, we were driving around a ton. We didn't really stay put for more than 2 or 3 days, and that was at like my cousin's place, because we were just exploring and moving around and boondocking and Cracker Barrels and stuff. But I think that was $750, we said, $700 to do the whole state of Florida all the way down to Key West. Key West alone was a healthy drive. So I've said this in other videos, but that's crazy. $547 a month, or $500 to $700 if you want to say $700 on the high side of kind of traveling around, exploring in more metro areas. That's crazy. Like, we can easily justify that. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's not oil changes, tire changes, and stuff like that, but we factor all that stuff in. It's just like owning a home. I mean, you know, stuff goes wrong, you fix things. I do all the work on this van. I'm not going to make a statement that I was going to say, but for the most part, any job that's came up, I've been able to get us out of the pickle and do it for the cost of parts, which is huge. I mean, that saves us a ton of money, no question about it. But the fact that we do free camping, I mean, that saves us so much money. Like, we could sit here for, this isn't even really technically BLM. So, I mean, you could probably sit here as long as you wanted until someone, maybe if someone would come by and say something, but I highly doubt it. Unless you were like throwing trash out and being disrespectful. But that's pretty crazy. There are other options out there than taking on $500,000 of debt for 30 years. And I'm not saying that that's a wrong thing to do, or if you're doing that you're stupid. I'm just saying there are other options. If you're our age, younger, older, whatever, and you're feeling displaced and, you know, how am I going to get a home? Our friend in Colorado, his friends were trying to buy a house and kept going over and over asking, and $50,000 over asking price, over appraisal, tapped into their 401ks. And then within a year and a half, they're like, we've outgrown this home. Like, we don't like this townhome. We just did it because we wanted a house. And I get the appeal of having something that's yours if you're looking to have kids. Like, there's all those different factors, but there are ways to get ahead. Step out of the hamster wheel of just working to survive and working to pay bills. And maybe if you can live an unconventional life for a little while, like Rachel and I have been doing this for 3 years, if we crunch the numbers, we're ahead at this point, but we have all the adventures. So that part of it's really crazy. I mean, if you were to step out of just the paying rent dynamic for a year, not saying everyone wants to live in their car, but if it's the means of freedom and not paying a ton of interest and saving some money, I think a year of temporary sacrifice, and for us, it's not really sacrifice. I mean, we enjoy this. We've seen so many friends that we've met along our adventures, and this trip, I should say, we've met new people. And we get to hike around in all these beautiful places. We've been in Death Valley for a week. And it's just like, it doesn't even feel real. So anyways, not boasting, not saying that our way is right. You know, the conventional way is wrong. But if you're watching this stuff, you've probably searched van life, or you're someone that knows us.
Related.
Yeah, right. Which is fine. That's totally cool. Go do it. Like, go do it. I can't stress that enough. And maybe you don't enjoy it. And then it's like you go back to doing exactly what you used to do. You go sign another lease if you're renting. maybe try it before you sell your house and all your belongings and then just go full-fledged into it and don't like it. But that's what kind of made us step outside of our comfort zone and give this a whirl, and it certainly worked out for us. So anyways, that's that. Crazy that we crunched those numbers, $550. I didn't think it's already been 3,000 miles, so I should probably look at the oil change. We're probably getting up to about 9,000. So
That's where we were 4 years ago today.
4 years ago today. I have no idea.
Think about it.
It's hard enough for me to know what I did last week, babe. Florida? Yeah, never would have guessed that. Really? Doing what? Oh, at the hotel?
Yeah.
Wow. Time is a flying by. It's pretty crazy. We weren't with our boy then, so now since we travel in a van, we can travel with him. So that's a plus. Catch you in a bit on our walk. He's excited. He knows we're going somewhere. It probably doesn't look like it's all cleaned up in here, but it is very much all cleaned up in here. Did the dishes, cleaned up the countertop, organized some stuff, put the stuff from stargazing away. Look at this view. How did this get old? This is a nice view. Everyone's down lower, like we're the only ones up here, and this is just perfect. I gotta go across the way here and get a picture of the van, but super cool. So yeah, we laid out right up front here. I just put the patio mat down. I wasn't gonna turn on any lights to show because other people were stargazing down below. Probably would have been pissed off, would have drawn attention to us. You can shut that. Got the camera going. I have your key.
Wait, you have my key?
Yeah. Yep. Very nice. This is a great spot. Beautiful day. We're gonna see if we can make it all the way over to that like plateau, that tabletop. What does he see? He sees something. Completely different experience with the sun not setting.
Yeah.
It's just everything's much more clear. It was beautiful last night as well, but these hills in the distance are mountains, I guess you would say. And I love the greens, like the green and tan and yellow.
It's almost better without your glasses.
Is it? Yeah, my eyes are just too... This is my eyes with the clouds and the sun like this right now, and it just hurts. My head starts to hurt from squinting like that. I just can't kick this. My nose from all the dust. Death Valley, the one day was just extremely dusty. And obviously when we crack a fan, it's sucking all that dust into 70 square feet. We've talked about getting an air purifier, but we're out in the desert. It's like you're basically trying to purify the desert air. Like, I mean, all that dust in the air is coming into the van, but then it's just, I think it would clog up the filters fairly quickly. Beautiful though. It's a nice day. We'll see how far we get. I'm feeling good. Ready to stretch the legs. I'm really curious to know what's on the other side of that. We are climbing. It really doesn't feel like it, but then when you look back and you see the grade, like we've came up quite a ways.
Can't even see the van.
No, the van is gone. It's too bad there's that one section that's really rocky. You could probably maneuver it. Our van would be a little dicey because we're top heavy with the solar panels, and some of those rocks are really sharp to where I could definitely see it cutting a sidewall, and then we're using a spare, so we're not going to risk it, and there's really no need to. But this road just goes forever.
Would Connor's Jeep be okay on it?
Yeah, Connor's Jeep would, I mean, as long as he was careful watching the sidewalls so that he didn't cut the side of the tire. But yeah, it's pretty neat, and you can tell there's a road that splits off that way. There was one that went over that way and that way, and then I don't know if this comes up and goes. You can kind of see that little hillside up there, so we'll see. follow along and you'll see where we end up. Wow, look at that. What a view.
What if there was just a little colony down
Yeah.
there?
Well, I wonder where that town Ryan or whatever he was talking about is.
Could be on that side.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't even find it on a map last night.
Oh, really?
No.
Yeah, we've gone a ways. This is nice, though. This is a beautiful hike. Not a soul. I'd guess 2. Not a soul out here that we know of. 2.37. Climbing, climbing, climbing. We've done good so far.
This is pretty steep.
Yeah. Oh, for the van?
Oh. I can't imagine.
Really, there was only 2 spots that probably would have been...
Otherwise you could have come to there and park?
Yeah, I mean, no, you could still do this in the van for sure. Like this part, sure, it's a grade. I mean, it would be... But no, I'm talking down in there where those 2 spots were washed out, like right by where we parked and turned around. Yeah. I've said this in 100 videos, but in case this is your first video, this is the joys of free dispersed camping. This is right out our doorstep. We're parked way down there, you can't see us. And stargazing last night, walking last night for sunset, now hiking up into here. And
we're all alone.
All alone.
We can bring our dog.
Zeke can be off leash. Flip it this way.
There's no one to come peeking in our door when we cook with the door open. Or
sometimes, but not here. Yeah, it's rare. And usually it's a case of where they're like-minded and they're our age or just sparking conversation. Hey, hi, how are you? But free. We are free camping. There's hardly any light pollution. We're right outside of the national park, and there's so many of these national parks that are some of the most beautiful places on the planet. And you can park right outside of them legally for free. For how long? You know, things have already changed just in the 3 years we've been doing this, but as of right now, there's still plenty of spots to do it. And we would highly recommend. You okay?
Yeah. Tripped
on a rock. Then when you got solar and Starlink for working remote, you can get free water from the park.
We're less than 3 miles from where we camped. And it's just...
Oh, like where we're parked right now?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you can see the road out there right now. So I think there's just that valley that we can't see the van. You can see cars on that highway in the distance. Or actually, the van might be more over there. I could take out my smartphone. Yeah, beautiful. What a gorgeous day.
It's 10:30 in the morning. It's a good thing we're doing this earlier.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I don't think it's supposed to be super hot today, but warmer.
Just no wind.
Yeah, it had been windy the last 2 days, so it's nice to not... The little bit of a breeze is nice. It's like AC,
but then it's hotter too.
Yeah. Wow, we really climbed. Had to bite that one, huh?
True.
What if we get up to the top and we're like, oh!
Is that metaphorical?
It's true. I think you shared something about that with the journey and the road trip, and right? Remember that? What did it say? What if the end isn't the end? And
can't remember. Something about the path.
The path. Yeah, the van wouldn't be coming up or down this, that is for sure. We have officially hit impassable conditions. I mean, coming down, maybe you could, these rocks would be dicey though, even with 10-ply tires. Look at that view. Pretty sweet. I'll be curious what the elevation gain is on this. It's a good
Curious.
climb.
curious. For sure. It's nice that it's a clear day and not super windy. So we made it up here. Not to say it's not beautiful, it is, but not what we were expecting. I kind of envisioned that we'd get up to the top and it just kind of drop off, and still pretty. But that front side, like where we came up from, was,
yeah,
that was the view.
It's much more wide,
yeah,
than I thought.
So we do this a lot where Rachel and I are just kind of spitballing, talking about, you know, what direction to take with our life next, focusing on all the memories, our relationship, our foundation, and how the one thing that we certainly know is true is that we dig each other, we're happy together. There's no questioning that. We don't bicker, we don't fight. Do we have a tiff where one of us are having a bad day or something? That's normal. But when I say from my past experiences, it's not even in the ballpark of what most people would even consider an argument or a disagreement. And
for how decision fatigued we feel sometimes when it comes to travel, we've never questioned the decision of dating each other.
Never once.
I am very lucky and proud to say, because I was in a past relationship where you break up a few times and you get back together and it never totally heals itself, I feel like.
Yeah, like sometimes when the damage is done.
Yeah, like there's a scar, you know?
For sure. And then like when something else happens, that wound gets ripped back open,
yeah.
and, you know, kind of
then
salt
it's
in the wound.
And then it's all red and pussy.
Yeah, just going down keep going.
Do you want to go to the right?
I was gonna say we got to come back this way, so we can go out that way. Are you okay?
Yeah, it was just pokey. No, it was a twig.
But it's funny, there's the component of where, like, when we were first on the road and I was uploading some YouTube videos, Rachel and I kind of made a promise to each other that we are going to stay true to where we are traveling for us. We weren't doing it for videos and stuff. So very much so too, when we're having these conversations like right now, I kind of just let them play out, and it turns into a 45-minute conversation that I'm like, damn, I really should have been filming all of that, because that's like the raw grit, the stuff where we're talking about life and things that we want to do. It's genuine, but then I also don't want to take away from the moment of where it feels like we're doing it for content, because we're certainly not, and I think we both have that mindset. But so to recap on that, we've had a lot of these conversations where it's just like, hey, as much as we don't know, do we plant roots here? Do we start, you know, do we build a home here? Do we do a school bus? All of these different things that maybe aren't what everyone else's vision are. We're like, hey, we have those options, but we don't know which way to go with them. But then we remind ourselves, like, look what we're doing today. We're in the middle of nowhere. Our tiny home on wheels is parked in front of a $1 million view for free.
We can stay as long as we want until we run out of water, or we've spent $550 on diesel to get out this far, and we're in California. We stayed in Nevada, we stayed on the Strip in Vegas, we stayed
Arizona, all over
Arizona, we stayed in New Mexico for about a week,
Kansas for a couple days.
Yeah, to where like
it was cold there.
One plane
Stay out of that hole.
One plane ticket to Vegas
I'm gonna switch
can
with
be
you,
$500.
Yeah, 2 years ago she had a bachelorette party in LA, so I drove her to the airport, and I was gonna have my dad come out and meet me
in Vegas. I flew from Vegas to LAX
for like 2 or 3 days, and we were just gonna camp outside of Vegas at the spot that we know and love, Rachel and I. And Rachel and I knew about the spot. My dad was gonna fly out here to camp out there with me. The plane ticket was like $380. You used to be able to fly to Vegas and back from Minneapolis for under $100. Yeah, round trip. So it just didn't make any sense. So yeah, for us to be able to, maybe on a rock. Oh, has he got a thorn? Must.
Oh my God.
Got a big thorn.
Big, huge.
Oh, sorry, buddy. It must have just happened. Rachel was saying, it's like we can't even fly to one of those places for the cost of what we've spent out here for a month. Take the lodging component out of it because we stay in the van, we have solar, we get free power on that. It's like,
and a rental car.
Yeah, the rental car component, the hotels or Airbnbs are out of the equation. We cook from our rig, so it's just grocery shopping like it is back home, unless we want to splurge.
Let's say, what did I say, 35 days, 36 days on the road, we've ate out for 6 meals.
Which is a lot for us, but it's with friends.
That's not normal for most people
No,
either.
we don't, and it hasn't been super bougie restaurants. A couple of them were spots that we knew. Ramen was, I think, $16 each in Las Vegas, which a meal there would have been like 40 each at any other place.
Right, we got all food really that we couldn't eat or make in the van.
Yeah, or didn't want to. So yeah, for us, I mean, that's kind of splurging, but 6 times in a month. And we stayed true on where it was with, other than the fish and chips, which was something we wanted to do since we were in Las Vegas.
And Valentine's.
Okay, and Valentine's Day, because that was a memorable place. It was good pizza. We can't have wood fire pizza in the van. We stayed true to where we weren't just like going out to eat for the convenience of it. So a couple more days and we'll be in, what town does this lead to? Ryan?
A old ghost town, gold mining town.
So I don't know, maybe this stuff isn't appealing. Tell us if it's repetitive or if you're like, hey, we really don't care, we don't want to hear your story. I don't really know. I'm filming these for the memories. If one person looks at it and is like, wow, if they can do it, we can do it. There's that component, but then there's also the part of where I'm compiling all this. These memories will age like fine wine. We do so much and travel to so many places. I'm not saying that like boisterous wise, I'm saying it not like all loud and proud and saying we travel to all these places, we get to do all this. It's just, it all blends together. We're in a new place every week. And if it wasn't for these videos and memories, sometimes they just blend together, you forget about them. And that's why pictures and videos are so important. See that stake out there with orange? I think it's a body.
Oh.
Someone's grave. It's probably one of those survey markers. So yeah, one of those things. Tell us what you want to hear. If you want more of the nitty gritty of like the story and how we got into this, how we balance our expenses, what stuff costs, where we find camping. I guess I just get the false concept of that everyone that watches these videos knows about iOverlander and what used to be free roam and how to find dispersed spots. And after doing this for 3 years,
Boondockers welcome.
yeah, like all of those components, we know them all, and it's second nature to us. I mean, we don't even really have to search for spots anymore, because when we're traveling out west, unless they've been closed down, we have all these spots. And some people get upset and say, don't share that location, don't say this location, and I get that. We want to enjoy it too, and when people abuse it,
we're trying to avoid more thorns in the paws, so we're doing this route of transportation, and he really looks mad about it.
Yeah. There's a beer bottle. Maybe this is like a little marked grave and canister where that's someone's cremated ashes or something.
Yeah.
And then they put the orange flag so that they know where to go. Who knows?
Be a long ways up.
Right? We don't know where this goes. Good boy. That's a good boy. Let me check this pause.
Do you want to turn around?
Yeah, we can go back. I'll finish that clip and then we'll be done. Yeah, let us know what you want to see. We just film our adventures, and a lot of this stuff is just, it's our life. It's second nature to us to do dispersed camping, to drive in.
Maybe someone wants to know what recipes we make.
Very true. Maybe so. We have a lot. Tacos. No, we do. You
Taco
switch
beef,
up food.
Taco turkey, taco
Quite a
chicken,
bit.
taco shrimp.
Not only is it better for you, it's more reasonable than ground beef. We like red meat though too, so we switch it up. But
taco turkey's nice because then you don't have to use the seasoning packets.
yeah.
We are on a tiki masala kick.
Ooh, the one you made last night, you added 2, what was it, Trader Joe's and Aldi?
Yeah, I used a butter chicken sauce and a tiki masala sauce combo. I did broccoli, chicken, and rice. And I did
Slap.
chicken thighs instead of chicken breasts.
Is that what we're having for lunch when you get back?
We can.
Do a margarita too.
Or, oh, we should put it in the fridge.
Oh, well, we can do ice and put it in the fridge for 15 minutes.
But otherwise, we have bacon and eggs we could make too.
Sure.
If we wanted breakfast.
Yeah, I don't care. I mean, we had yogurt. We could do lunch. Unless if we want to burn up some of those eggs. My arm's getting sore. Good save.
That was scary.
We're probably 4.5 miles into this walk. We're going to walk down to this gully, check that out, and then start making the trek back to the van so we can eat lunch and come up with a plan. We very well might just stay here one more night. I really like this spot. Rachel says, I think we just will, and that's kind of funny.
The only kicker is we don't have marshmallows.
We don't have marshmallows for s'mores, but we can survive. We will.
We may.
We may. But yeah, let us know. Like the video if you like it. Love to hear a comment of your own. Yeah, if you don't like it, don't like the video. Love to.
Why you don't like it.
Love to hear a comment about, you know, oh, hate you're ranting. I mean, I don't love to hear that, but then at least that makes me know. And the thing is, everyone's different. Someone wants to hear and see just the full routine. I used to make 7 or 8 minute videos, and there was a girl that, watch out, there's thorns, come here, buddy. A girl that was like, I really wish you would do more of the 25-minute videos. When they end, I'm like, oh no, it's already over. And then I'm like, most people don't want to sit down and watch 25 minutes of content of just us rambling and walking around out in the middle of nowhere.
YouTube is free compared to cable nowadays.
It's true.
Maybe people do it like TV episodes, you know?
That's very true.
They eat a meal and they want to just eat the whole meal without having to flip to the next episode.
Right.
That could be.
That's a good point. Should we walk out? Well, he's gonna get thorns, but I want to. Wow, look at this. What does this remind you of? Yes. Good job. That's what I was thinking. And then also that spot in Kauai. But yes, I was thinking Black Canyon to the Gunnison at first. We're just in the middle of nowhere. Like, we're 4.5 miles at this rate, 5 miles from our camp spot where we parked. And then this is just wandering around. Wow.
And our campsite's only a mile from the highway.
Yeah. This is crazy.
Wow.
This is totally like Black Canyon to the Gunnison. This is not marked. This is just us just moving around and hiking around. Wow. Totally Black Canyon to the Gunnison vibes though.
It took us 2 hours to get here.
Really?
Yeah.
Woo! Woo! Super impressed with this. This was a nice find just to keep going. And you know, it's funny. When we got to that first part where we thought it was just going to open up like this and it didn't, we almost turned around, right? And then we kept going, and I think it's so cool how we end up at spots like this where we're like, yo, this is a national park. Technically, I think this is considered Death Valley or like federally owned land. But not like an attraction of the park, I don't believe. Like, I don't know if any of these roads, other than like some serious overlanding, would get you here. Just beautiful. That was nice. You do look very cute today, by the way.
Thank you.
I'm serious, I mean it. Doesn't it feel good we kind of put our faces on today? A little bit. Like, I mean, we didn't go too far into it and do full-on showers or anything wild and crazy like that, but after being desert rats in Death Valley for the last couple of days, it does feel good to clean up a little bit. I'm sure you guys have noticed and seen, you're like, did he shoot? Well, the sun has went down and it's came up and it looked different. And these are 3 different days, but he's wearing the same t-shirt. I'm confused. Well, full disclosure, if I'm not biking or hiking and sweating really bad in a t-shirt, comes down to practicality. I mean, if we're in the middle of nowhere, the only one seeing me is her. We have a good enough relationship to where if I smell, which I know at first, she'll say, hey, you know, you got to change your shirt. Last night, my socks from hiking in these hiking boots, they stunk. She said something, but so yeah, anyways, back home, I wouldn't have done that. I'd be embarrassed to go out in the same shirt 2 days in a row, which, what a weird situation. It's like, if it doesn't stink, you didn't get anything on it, you didn't do any physical activity of sweating, why? It's wasteful to
use our washing machines that often.
Yeah, look at us just being so considerate of the planet now. I'm really happy with this hike.
We did laundry one time in 36 days so far.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but we're gonna run with it. And we did that laundry
for free.
For free at a resort pass that we stayed at. That was wonderful. You know, they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but we're learning something as we go still. So, oh, this is really cool. And the fact he can be off leash, as I've said, and
it'll be like 10 miles total.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think we'll probably be right around 8.5, 9 miles, but nice. It's a nice hike. I wish Connor and I would have did this, but I guess when we woke up that next day, we went right into the park. It's quite a washout, huh?
Yeah.
That's the crazy part about sometimes when we're taking back roads and we're 40 minutes away and we get to a spot and we're like, okay, yeah, can't go any further from here, and we just got to turn around or go in reverse for 25 minutes. This is a stellar hike, and to think hardly anyone comes back here up here is just nuts.
More just like a nature road.
Yeah, it's not even really a hike. I mean, you're going up rocks and stuff, so not in the textbook definition of a hike, but I mean, I wouldn't consider this a leisure walk around a lake, or so I would say in the sense of technical rocks and stuff and just watching your footing, it's a hike. I think that's something we're learning more of, is when, as we travel more, initially it was like national parks are bust. National park has to be these super iconic hikes, and we very much found now, like, if we can incorporate Zeke, I should flip it because of the wind. If we can incorporate Zeke into the hike, he's off leash, there's not a ton of people, we don't have to worry about parking as much. It's nice, so it's cool to switch it up. We still love national parks. We're gonna probably try and do all of them in Utah, but as life happens, things change, and who knows, we could end up in Oregon next week.
Oh boy.
Rachel's like, I don't know about that. Crazy. And then you just see just these pathways of where they've all tumbled. Very neat. Not something we thought we were doing today. We didn't even think we were going to stay here last night. We definitely didn't think we were staying here a second night, which would be tonight, and that sounds like the direction that we're heading, is probably just staying here for another night. But what's funny about that is that also could change, just like the fact that we said we weren't going to stay here at all. So interesting how we didn't think we were going to be hiking here, and now here we are, and we're like, wow, what a great way to spend a Saturday. Just finds the one tree, takes all the dirt and moves it out of the way to get to some cooler dirt that hasn't been exposed to the sun, and then just sits there and he's like, what's up, guys? What's up?
It's like, you can come back for me in 10.
He definitely he's not a desert dog. It's like 65 degrees right now. Full sun though. The sun is warm, and I mean, with his black fur for sure and 2 coats, but yeah, he would not, I don't think he'd fare well with summertime in Arizona.
Yeah.
It's not like when we were in Sedona that time hiking, he like would every 5 feet for a tree, and we were giving him plenty of water, but he was
in May.
Yeah, he was like, no thank you. Oh yeah, he's not even really painting that much.
Thank you.
He's like, welcome, this is my new home, I built this.
Hello.
It's like our guy where he's like, the clever human takes 30 years to build a home, the rat, and he's like, the puppy dog finds home in 15 seconds.
You're so sweet.
Oh, he's such a good boy. We should really get you just a white little t-shirt that you put on. Maybe Dad's Grand Teton's one that has a stain on it now. You'd love that. I bet you'd cool you down.
Sweetie.
Oh, he's so precious.
Oh my goodness, look at those chompers. They
Yeah.
look great.
Yeah, you cleaned off all your tartar from chewing on sticks? A little bit on that one. Not much. That looked good. Oh, he's such a good boy.
You want us to come back and get you in a few hours?
Yeah, you fine here? Gonna hold down the fort? We'll get you a big bowl of ice water when we get home. It's crazy. It's dead silent. Like, you can't hear a car, you can't hear a human. Wow. That's like quiet. Like, that's not, oh, you're all...
Sound chamber?
Yeah, it is. There's just no noise. Let's see if my finger will work. So cut all the way up around that bend, went up the switchbacks there, followed that ridge, cut behind there, and then kind of up in there, followed that all around and went to the ridge where there was like that canyon. It's been a beautiful hike, and there's not a ton of wind. It is warm in the sun for sure, but very nice. Nice to get some vitamin D, some fresh air. The fact that it's not super windy, there's not a bunch of dust. But the troops are getting thirsty for margaritas. I think we're gonna, Zeke still hasn't been drinking margaritas, so he wants just a cold bowl of ice water. But to think, in the summertime, it can be 130 degrees here. Like Rachel was saying, these rocks would just be radiating heat. Just, oh, we were here, what was that, 5 years ago, 4 years ago? Not this exact spot, but Death Valley.
Labor Day weekend 2020.
Her memory is just nuts. I couldn't tell you much. And she's like, nope, I remember that. She didn't even really think about it that long. And she's just like, oh no, I know the weekend, the date, what color shirt I was wearing. It was 120 something then, right?
I think we saw on the car thing, it was 114.
Oh, was it? I mean, that's still hot. But I thought we saw 120. Yeah, warm. Warm. So, perfect time of the year to do this. Zeke is ready to just chill. He's gonna sleep good tonight. That sun is pretty serious. It feels good. Any warmer, if it was 10 degrees warmer, it'd be rough. Someone's on a mission to get back. You can tell he just wants to sit down and say, taking the rest of the day off, unless it involves FOOD and water. It's funny. Great hike though.
Happy we did it.
Yeah, me too. Right out the doorstep of our home. Good job.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. That's awesome. Yeah. He's like, I can't. That was a good hike. You did good, buddy. Good job.